Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brother Jamie Brunt, would you lead the prayer?
Lord, thank you that we live in a beautiful part of the country, right here in Morgan County. Thank you for this beautiful day that you've given us. And thank you, Lord, for these folks who have a very serious connection to giving leadership here to our county. Bless them in their deliberations tonight. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Give us just a second. We'll have our technical
Technical. Tommy's having a technical issue too. Ready? Madam Secretary, we roll call.
Eric Pelfrey,
Here.
Donnie Keaton,
Here.
Tommy Fannin,
Here.
Brandon Evans,
Here.
Leroy Phipps,
Here.
Jim Gazay.
Here. We have a quorum. Let's roll. All right, we have the minutes in front of you. These were sent out earlier. If you had a chance to read them, I'll entertain a motion as soon as you're ready. And by the way, we are looking at minutes from other meetings too that were tabled last time, so.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to approve the, all the minutes, 4 sets. Is there any further discussion or questions? There being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on down, our next topic is trail development. We have guests here to speak to us tonight. Laura Pack, and I believe we got a resolution here. I guess we need to read the resolution first. Is that what? All right, we'll go ahead and I'll read the resolution out loud so everybody can hear it. Whereas the Kentucky General Assembly passed HB 156, an amendment to KRS Chapter 148 during the 2017 regular session, and whereas the bill creates the Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreational Authority as a municipal corporation and political subdivision of the Commonwealth governed by at least 16 participation counties, and whereas the Morgan County is a county included in the Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreational Authority as a target county. Therefore, be it hereby resolved, the Morgan County Fiscal Court does agree to participate in the formation and governance of the Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreational Authority as established in KRS Chapter 148 and appoints Laura Pack to represent the county on the Board of Directors. Mrs. Pack will provide A copy of the minutes of board meetings, monthly and in-person report to the fiscal court when asked. If adopted this day of 31 August 2023. That is the resolution. Do we have any discussion we'd like to talk about this, I would assume? Laura, could you come up and take any questions too?
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, there should be a microphone up there ready so that you can speak.
I'm pretty loud. You may be able to hear me anyway.
Well, it needs to go across the television.
Oh, I see. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Is it on? It is.
yeah, it's on.
I'm open to any questions you might have, any concerns you have. I also have with us our Executive Director, Scott Smith, of First Frontier Appalachian Trails. Scott, raise your hand.
Hi,
And
Scott.
Brandon Davenport. He is our Trail Development Coordinator. He's boots on the ground, mapping, leasing, and all of that sort of thing. And my husband, who comes with me everywhere. and
Oh,
is
yeah, I think I've seen him around. I think I've seen him at another meeting.
Wonderful volunteer for Trail Town and First Frontier. This is Paul Pack.
All right.
And I will answer any questions you have, because there's lots to be asked, I'm sure, if you're not familiar with it.
The counties take up most of eastern Kentucky, right?
Yes, sir. There are 19 participating counties.
19?
So
And
it's
we're-
the entirety of the region.
Yeah, and right now, we're one of the few counties that's part of the original that's not involved in it, right?
Has not been up until this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, we're
Per the
kinda-
legislation, there were 9 originating board
Yeah.
members, county members, Department of Local Government, Fish and
Yeah.
Wildlife, Parks and Tourism,
Yeah.
and a senator and a Representative Chris Fugit, who originated the legislation.
Chris from up in Hazard?
Yes, very, very wonderful man. So it was designed for rotation, and counties rotating on and rotating off the board and serving 2 years at a time, so that everyone had an opportunity to be a voting member of the board. For the last couple of years, I've represented Johnson County. I've been involved with Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreation Authority prior to its creation. I've been involved with the project and the mission for about 6.5 years now. So I was there prior to it kicking off, and I'm happy to say I'm still here where we're really gaining ground.
All right. And a lot of these trails, like the ones here in Morgan, are being used right now.
Have
but-
been for decades.
But, yeah, they have been. And the problem with that is those trails are going across property, and once we adopt this, that trail, the state will start, I believe, assuming the liability.
Correct.
And keeping the trail up and keeping it clean with garbage and law enforcement and all that.
Correct. After the leasing process, those trails have been used for decades, but the problem being you can't market something that is not legitimized by
Yeah.
a lease agreement.
Right.
So we're not able to market that to the world yet because we don't have those agreements in place.
Yeah.
Once the lease agreements are in place, then the indemnity becomes the state or our organization's responsibility when we are a pseudo-government
Right.
agency. And that's just one of the perks. There are
Yeah.
lots of other perks, like financial and economic opportunity,
Right.
policing when necessary. There's just tons of perks to having that property that's already being ridden as part of the trail system. Economically speaking, and I think when I presented to you all before, I was able to tell you about the success of Hatfield-McCoy.
Right.
Their
Bringing in millions
success,
of revenue.
phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
phenomenal, and it continues to grow. The CAGR, the combined average growth of that industry is still just absolutely phenomenal, above 14% expected in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Can you explain the leasing process?
I can. And Scott, do you want to join me in case anyone has any questions for him? So the leasing process is this. We've gone about the process of identifying trails that are already being used and that connect communities, because it's an economic development plan as much as it is anything. And so we identify those trails, we identify whose property that trail is crossing. And then we approach the landowner and present with them the opportunity to join the trail authority to protect themselves and have that economic opportunity for lodging, firewood, ice, you name it, food, anything that they want to put on their property. We believe it would enhance your property value even.
Is this a paid lease or is it just an agreement?
It is an agreement with individual landowners. Now, there are instances where Hatfield-McCoy has agreements with large landholding companies. It's really cents on the mile. It's not, a huge financial agreement. But with those larger companies, they do have agreements that we're financial. But this is, initially when we come to the landowners, it's more of an agreement. I hate to use the term, but it's kind of just a really glorified permission, and then you get the
Right.
benefits of giving the permission. You get somebody to manage the trail, police the trail, market the trail, and indemnify you, number one.
Yeah.
Indemnify you, which is a pretty good thing.
Yeah, I know when we looked at it before, I mean, there's definitely a lot of opportunities, even, like the area where we live,
Which is,
460 East going toward McGowan County. I
Yeah.
think the Bowling Ridge
Bowling Ridge,
was
that's
was
like,
on there.
that's like on our hit list.
But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of property owners that crosses, and if they will agree to it, it will help them tremendously.
Oh my
because
gosh.
Trash and especially the liability.
Liability. Trash is something, when we first started our endeavors, I can speak personally for Johnson County, where I've been most, involved. But trash has been such an issue for decades. People, and it's not trail goers, it's generally your general population looking for some place to deposit trash and not have to pay for dumping it. That's usually the circumstance. But we're seeing just in a couple of years, such a reduction in that. It's amazing. And we all know that having trash everywhere hinders us from any kind of tourism. It's a hindrance, so it improves that immediately.
Do y'all work well with the Daniel Boone National Forest?
Scott can speak better to that than I can.
We actually have several things in the works with them right now. I'm sorry, who was that asked that question? I'm sorry about that. I've actually talked with the folks a lot more over to the western part of the area that we're covering right now, as far as the Daniel Boone National Forest, the folks in the Redbird District. I've dealt with them a whole lot. We're working hard to get something in place with them. Kind of hope that once we get something there, it'll spread throughout the rest of their territory.
We're down northern end of the county, next to Round County, and Round Cave Run Lake and all that, and there's.
The talks have been very good that we've had with them, like I said, over in that part of the country so far. They have a ranger over there that's very open to working with us. So I think things are going to go well.
Good.
And remind me, you guys go in and fix the trails up as far as,
Once they're leased, they'll be
Yeah.
maintained for drainage and things like that, yes, sir. Mhm.
It's a
What
good
about
deal.
the additional land around the trail? Is it posted so that, additional land won't be disturbed?
It's a common question. We get that question quite a bit. You can't police every single foot of something, but the idea is to put in place signage that keeps people on the trails, to have interactive components that will show them on a handheld device whether or not they're still on the trail. And then if trespassing off of that becomes an issue, then we will also have a component for policing. So the idea is to keep them on the trail, what we think is the best trail and the easiest maintained, the most profitable for everybody. And then if they get off of it, we'll have to deal with that at a later time. But signage and having something interactive is going to prevent a lot of that.
And this can go along with other activities. If somebody's bringing a group in for a ride, we can set them up. We got people in here at Race Quail, and they do bird hunts. We can organize events when they come through and have them do bird hunts, other things that will bring money and tourism into the economy, correct?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
Every county that we participate with has that same approach and that same mindset that we want to present ourselves as a total package.
Yeah.
We want people to think of Eastern Kentucky as someplace you can come and do a multitude of things.
Yeah.
Any kind of adventure tourism that you can think of.
All that comes together with
It
the
all
trail
comes
ride.
together. When these groups come, the studies show that when groups come to trail ride, there are, on average, 4 people. So, that's the average. So many times there's more. There's entire families. And it's just good business for us to have something for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, and plus then the local citizens also get to enjoy these trails as well, correct?
Absolutely. One of the benefits to this entire thing is we're talking about 19 counties. So once you buy this minimal money permit and you get your sticker, you can go to Breathitt County and ride a trail without being any fear of trespassing. It'll be a marked,
Breathitt-
maintained trail. You
Breathitt
can go to
County?
Perry
Come on
County.
now.
You know, anybody that gets that sticker can go anywhere.
All right.
And we
Now,
can put together a system
Brings them.
that'll be very economically beneficial.
So that sticker, and then that comes back, and that's revenue, that's a source of revenue, it comes back to the counties when they pay for that sticker? How does that work?
We don't even have that sticker yet, but the idea is that sticker will be furnished by First Frontier,
Yeah,
and it's a very minimal cost.
All right.
It's mainly a way to record keep
all right.
of the people we have coming in and out. That's
Okay.
its purpose.
There's not too many people that I've talked to that ain't said that they would love to buy a permit to get a ride.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I'll be one of the first in line.
Yeah.
Now, is this ATV side by side? Is it horses also?
No, sir, this is motorized,
Okay.
Has there been,
for now, yeah.
well, I know some people have concerns about, the people coming in from, places, and they're worried about their property getting destroyed or trouble being caused, rowdy people. I mean, have you?
I hear that question quite a bit too,
Yeah.
and I think that any community that's tried to put a trail system in where you're inviting the world to come and visit it has the same concerns.
Yeah.
It's been my experience, and I think that once you look at it from a logical point of view, you'll agree that these folks who come to participate in this activity, they're bringing trailer loads full of vehicles, UTV vehicles that are $35,000 to $70,000 per unit. They're driving diesel trucks and hauling these trailers, and they come to stay an entire week. They have a full pocketbook full of vacation money. It's not really those people that we need to be concerned about going to steal from
Yeah.
our properties. I think that those people are,
They may become targets.
let's hope not. But I certainly don't think they pose us any risk. I really
We'll
don't.
get some extra cash.
Is McGoffin County, are they?
Yes, they are engaged, fully engaged.
What about Elliott?
Elliott is not at this point.
All right, okay. I know somebody over there.
I know some folks have asked just in the last week about Bath County. We have had multiple conversations with some folks in Brown County. There are lots of people who would like this opportunity to
We have
participate.
Right.
a lot of interest from Rockcastle County.
Rock
as well.
Castle.
But Round's not on board yet?
I'm sorry?
Is Round on board?
Not yet.
Not
No,
yet?
sir.
All right. Okay.
So do you all come back in and fix it like you were, say if it gullies out, like you're going up a hill, if the trail gullies and start washing into
Absolutely.
streams? and
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you all are responsible for that?
Yeah, the First Frontier Appalachian Trails plan is modeled very closely to Hatfield and McCoy. And whatever they do to keep their trails up, we're certainly going to model that policy and that procedure. Because that's what keeps people coming back.
Right. Donnie raises another interesting point. He's talking about gullies and stuff, but what about a water runoff and streams? You guys avoid streams because then you got to deal with divisional water, and I guess that's all been covered too.
Yeah, we haven't had any discussions with anybody or had any concerns brought about anything like that.
So, okay.
You know,
Sounds
because
good.
loggers can't cross the stream and stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah,
you
I know.
know, if your ATV.
Yeah.
If it becomes a hassle, then certainly it alerts people to what's going on. So you
Yeah.
try to avoid those type of things if you can.
All right. Any other questions?
Jim, I just want to add to that. A few years ago, we wrote some of those trails in GPS. I'll see if I can locate those files.
That would be wonderful. And if you could get those to myself, Scott, Brandon, get those to us, that would be absolutely wonderful.
I don't remember where we wrote to, but it's a pretty rough country.
Is anyone here? Oh, they love it. Is anyone here involved in the education system here in Morgan County? I want to throw this in here because we've just started doing this recently over this summer. If there's opportunities for your high school kids to get out and do some volunteer service, we would certainly want to help them do that. All hands, boots on the ground is a good thing. So if you have that, have groups that you know that need to do that, please have them get in contact with us. And the last thing I want to add is I appreciate the judge's confidence in me. We have talked about this now for a year and a half about that.
Yeah, long before I came in office.
Yeah, so I appreciate his confidence in myself and in our system, and I appreciate the confidence of Morgan County's residents to know that this is a unique opportunity. We have an opportunity to be masters of our economic destiny. We can develop it and it can be what we want it to be, and we will see a lot of return from that.
Okay. Sheriff, you got any comments? You got any?
Well, I know before COVID, we actually did a lease program, a free lease with Kawasaki. They allowed us to get a side-by-side for that purpose,
Right.
for trails or events or whatever. So we got one year and then COVID hit, and I haven't, and we didn't need it all that much, but that's certainly something that we would be able to probably utilize in the future.
We would encourage you to do that and also to engage emergency services. Our trail, MJM, Powerhouse Trail, that comes into Morgan County. That's a trail we have mapped. We're working on the leasing process there now. We have had Morgan County Emergency Services come and be with us for rides and things like that before, and we encourage that. It always makes folks feel better to know that there's a trained emergency team on standby in case anything, God forbid, should happen.
And I think our rescue squad is getting a new piece of equipment that'll be ready to do that.
We've actually put in for a new side-by-side, to be fully equipped to better serve what our current unit does now.
That's awesome.
It's will be able to haul more personnel. Hopefully it'll be here by the time everything's.
Well, we can't wait for you to get it and get out on the rides with us and let you see what you're up against.
I don't know what y'all are seeing, but what I found is that if you do start that and you show that you're going to take a pretty strong approach to policing it, then, you know, that will generally kind of keep down potential problems.
It does.
You know, I mean, it's all right to have fun, it's just not all right to be stupid. You know?
Exactly.
You know, we kind of take away the stupid part and
Yeah.
let everybody have fun.
And everybody have
that-
fun.
That seems to work pretty well.
It does. I wanted to mention
Don't quote
also.
me exactly on that.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I was going to ask if we could use that in our paper because I kind of like it.
That's what we do every now.
I enjoy that. Also, Sheriff, we have a well-defined safety plan for the trails and trail access that, for the road connections, connecting trails. We have a very defined per statute and above and beyond, actually, safety plan, and I'll make sure you have a copy of that.
Thanks, Greg.
So you're meaning like access points in to get emergency services and law enforcement and stuff back there?
Well, and access for people to get to lodging on the roadways, to get to fuel, to get to supplies. There are times they're going to have to be on the hardtop. And that's just the nature of getting around from one place to another. We have some great legislation in place. We have ordinances. We just did one in Johnson County, I guess, 6 or 8 months ago, for our county roads that connect to trails, so that folks are not breaking the law.
Right.
City ordinances. Scott is in Leslie County. The entire county is side-by-side friendly. So that's something, as we look at the trails and we grow this thing, we'll be looking at protecting folks when they're on the roads and protecting our folks that are on the roads. But
Right.
there are things in place to deal with that and address it.
And I would address that too with you, but, you know, that's another thing that it's fine to, I mean, and the law does allow for you to travel from one trail to another, and the county can do ordinances and things like that. The problem that I find and that we get a ton of complaints on, again, gets back to stupid, okay? I mean, it gets back to parents not maybe allowing, guardians allowing young kids to be
Right.
out on these things.
Yeah.
People not using proper safety equipment.
Correct.
And then, you know, get on the road and you're going to run, nobody's going to, I mean, one, it's not against the law. If you travel from point A to point B to get to a trail and you're allowed 0.2 of a mile, nobody's really going to look at that closely. But it's the, well, you're going to ride a wheelie and turn donuts in the process.
It's that stupid component.
Hurricanes off on the butt, you know, I mean, that's where we get into problems.
Sure, and that is in part why we developed the safety plan. It actually goes above and beyond what the law requires, so that when people are using our trails and they're coming here to use our trails, they know what the rules are.
Well, you don't want
Everybody knowing what the rules is makes everybody
Most people
happy.
don't want to come in here and pay for a bed and breakfast or something like that to ride trails with the kids and have a bunch of drunks and idiots out
Exactly,
there being stupid.
exactly, yeah,
Have fun.
yeah. Have fun, no stupid, that was his quote for the paper.
Yeah, that's it. That's all right.
Any,
I'm gonna get a shirt that says it.
any comments from the county attorney? You got any?
Miles, it's good to see you again.
It's good to see you as well. I was going to say, no, I've talked with Larry for a few years now. I think it's a good idea, connecting, different parts of the county, different counties like that. And this is something that, it's not just, we have the trail and that's it forever. I mean, conceivably, it can grow with the county and the needs of the county. If we develop, the Paintsville Lake area of Morgan County or the Cave Run Lake area of Morgan County, I mean, there could be future trails and more people could kind of get involved.
The potential is limitless.
Yeah.
It's a really limitless potential.
And no, I mean, they do a good job with their leasing and stuff, and that's kind of, a lot of people worry about, well, what if somebody gets hurt on, my part of the, land on this trail? That's what that takes away, is it takes away people, from getting sued or, anything like that. So I think it's a great idea. I love riding myself. I love getting out in nature and stuff, not so much lately, but I think it's a good idea.
Thank you so much for your support.
No problem.
All right. Is there any other questions for Laura or Scott? And Brandon's going to be your man about Morgan County here pretty soon,
That's
right?
your boots on the ground, yeah.
You'll be boots on the ground. All right.
Brandon comes to us with a lifetime of trail and motor adventure tourism type experience. He's been doing it his entire life. He's traveled to other places where they do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's been taking mental notes for some years. So he's bringing a wealth of good information to us, and very diligent, great work ethic.
All right.
And he's a pleasure. I tried to get him to dance tonight. He's not going to do it. I didn't bring the right music. I don't know. But maybe next time.
Next time? All right.
But you all will enjoy working with him, I'm sure. And Scott is our executive director, and he is housed in Knott County at the Knott County Sportsplex to try to be in the center of things. But he is always at your disposal. Also just wonderfully talented at what he does, and a great work ethic.
Okay, great.
And I will do my absolute best.
All right. Well, if there's no further questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution that Morgan County Fiscal Court agrees to participate in the formation and governance of the Kentucky Mountain Regional Recreation Authority as established in KRS Chapter 148, and appoints Laura Pack to represent the county on the Board of Directors.
I make a motion on that resolution.
Second.
We have a motion. It's been properly second. Is there any further discussion or questions? Any further questions or discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Laura. Scott, nice seeing you again. Brandon, keep them in line. All right, next up, David Bradley, bicentennial celebration. David called me a few weeks back and never got a chance to do our bicentennial celebration. He came up with some ideals, and we got together, me and him and Grant, and Chelsea still had a great idea too about the Sorghum Festival parade. So I'll let you go ahead and speak to us about that and what we're getting ready to do.
Okay. So probably a few months ago, I kind of put a bug in Jim's ear, and it's when basically you all were in the middle of going through everything. Everybody, most everybody was new to the court, and I just kind of put a bug in his ear, like, hey, we kind of need to celebrate this. So we were able to get together and just kind of did like a brainstorming session, if you will, about some things that we'd like to do to celebrate the 200 years of Morgan County and West Liberty. Out of that brainstorming meeting, we immediately said, we'd like to maybe do a joint venture with the city, because they're also involved in this as well. So I presented to the city council earlier this week, and some of the ideas that came out of our, like I said, brainstorming session was, maybe put together a program. I made a suggestion that maybe we do it in conjunction with the Veterans Day program that we have in November. Obviously, that's just a suggestion. And then we talked about, of course, there would need to be funding. So kind of making this a multifaceted thing where a lot of people have their hands in it. Maybe have some representatives of this court, the city council, possibly get with tourism and the chamber. Get all of them involved because, putting on an event does cost money. And, I know the county and the city both have limited funds that they could use for such an event. So getting others involved would kind of help with that. Some of the things we come up with is possibly, of course, having some type of program. Maybe you have a speaker, or maybe try to get some of our local historians to, kind of speak. Lynn Nickel, he would have been the perfect person to do this, and
Right.
God rest his soul. But anyway, we have others here in the county that we could to get with that could probably do that. But maybe some special music, maybe some fireworks at the end to kind of tie it all together. And those, like I said, was some ideas. Also, the idea of maybe having a keepsake made, like a challenge coin or a commemorative spoon or something like that. That way, those that come to participate, the citizens, they have a little keepsake that they can keep forever of the event. So basically, why I'm here tonight is, one, I'm asking that the fiscal court show support for this, and I asked the city council to do the same, and they did show support. And if you all choose to participate and want to support this, what I would ask is that you all talk about maybe developing a committee to sit on this. And I'm thinking maybe a couple magistrates and maybe the judge.
Yeah.
And then on the city's end, maybe the mayor and maybe a couple of the councilmen. Right. And kind of, just form a separate committee to kind of plan this and put it together. And that way it's a joint venture.
All right.
So anyway, those are just some of my ideas. Appreciated that Jim got back with me on it. And it's important that we do something for the citizens, because 200 years is a big deal.
All right.
So
It is. Did the city council, did they do a motion, or what did they do?
they didn't do a motion. As a matter of fact, their city attorney, Frederick, he was going to look at on their end about forming a separate committee to do that. And they just want to make sure they do it all legal, and I understand that.
Yeah.
You all may have to do the same. I'm not sure. But if you all do decide to form a committee, the mayor has asked that Judge Gazay get in touch with him, and then they can move forward on their end once they get their legal
I'll be talking to him
opinion, and we'll go from there. But anyway, it's been a pleasure to speak with you today on this on behalf of the citizens of Morgan County.
Well, thank you, David. Appreciate you coming in, and I'll get with the mayor tomorrow. I think he's expecting a call from me anyway, and then we'll get with Daniel, Frederick, and Miles and make sure we're all good, and we'll go from there. And I'm sure everybody here is more than happy to support you in any way the physical court can. Thanks again for coming. I believe we have a report from our solid waste coordinator. Good evening, Mr. Leach.
Afternoon, gentlemen, ladies. So it's the second month that I've been solid waste coordinator for Morgan County, and the revenue for July, as you can see there, it's $14,551 and a penny. And of that came from $187 in scrap value that we sold to Grassy at that time. We've since changed vendors, and I'll get to that here in a minute. We also took in $14,343.20 in tipping fees, and then there was some money that was left in the drawer, and when it was all said and done, counted up, it equated to $20.81. Expenditures for July. The Rumpke fee was $18,072. That was 235.71 tons of trash that left this county. And if you're not interested in tonnage, that's 471,420 pounds of trash. That's considerable. Our next highest expenditure was payroll at $11,466.95. Miscellaneous repairs and maintenance, $39.50. Supplies, that's the receipt books, gloves, hand sanitizer, things like that. $252.58. Uniforms that some of the guys wear, we're working on that, is $29.11. That's a rental fee that we take. Then mountain telephone was $94.74, water was $71.57, and electric was $101.40, for a total of $30,128.92. Unfortunately, that leaves us at a deficit of $15,577.91. I believe last month the Rumpke fee was $12,000. This month it went up to $18,000. So, but there's some good things we've been working on. We have a metal recycling box in place. I made a post on our Facebook page. So any of the citizens, you know, they've got metal you want to get rid of, any metal. They said anything and everything metal, throw it in the box. Previously, we were taking it over to another place, and they were just charging us at a flat rate for everything. It didn't matter if it was copper, steel, gold, whatever. It was going to be light scrap. And I didn't like that. I thought the county could do a lot better. Contacted Mountain Metal. They brought us a roll-off box, and what they do is they'll collect the box, take it back to their facility, then they'll separate all the metal out, and then we will be paid per the poundage of the different metals. So that will be more money coming back for us at better rates, I believe. There will be a swap out fee, you know, for their time and effort, because, you know, they got to spend diesel to get up here, but it's $200, I believe, is what the gentleman quoted me at. So it's a very minimal fee. We don't have to use our trucks. We don't have to send our employees off. Everything is right there on site. And another thing I like about it is we're not throwing the metal on the ground. So we don't have to have a lot of scrap, a lot of parts. Understand we're still working on some nails. I'm sure the magistrates probably have gotten some calls from their people about getting flat tires. I got a call myself. We have a tire patch kit there at the station. So if you get a nail in your tire, or you think the nail came from our facility, give us a shout. Or, you know, if you haven't left the facility, we'll patch it for you.
I heard you were one yourself the other day.
Yeah, I found a guy, he had a 3-inch nail in his tire, so we pulled it out and I patched his tire and off we went. So yeah. He was happy, I was happy. Tire trailer. We contacted a company. They were able to bring down a trailer for us. And because of the tire grant that we have from the state of Kentucky, that will be completely funded. That will be at no cost to this county. So tires that used to cost us an absorbent amount of money, we're now to the point where we're going to break even, actually make even come out ahead on it. So that's one less cost we have to worry about. Again, going back to the Rumpke fee, because so much trash comes out of this county, we get such a high fee. One of the things we started doing was to check licenses. We had Eddie sitting outside the fence in his chair, and he would check licenses as they came in. He's turned quite a few of them away. There was one that had a gooseneck trailer full of stuff, I believe coming out of Lawrence County, but he came down here. So, and he said, no, can't do it, go back. So that would have been a pretty good haul to us. Another thing from Rumpke, we hadn't had a spotter truck in a while. That's kind of a big topic for last month. Rumpke has graciously donated the truck that was there. They took it back, they fixed it, they repaired it, put a new hood on it, and it should be here by Friday. I got the title in the mail today, so, and I talked with Miles. He wanted to make sure it's inspected. That way, you know, liability-wise, we're okay with that. Of course, the Sheriff's Department, they have to come out, take a look at it, and then I'm going to run it to our shop. So I'm going to have our guys up at the road department check it out, make sure everything's good on that. And that's going to be our primary spotter truck for now. Again, we have a Facebook page. If there's any notification updates, things go wrong, God forbid we have to close down early again, which hopefully that's not going to be a problem now that we have that spotter truck. All that information will be posted there.
Well, also limited a lot of these people coming from out of county is going to help us out, because they were
Yes.
coming in here in droves, and
Yeah,
I mean the fees we are significantly lower
Yes.
Yes.
than these other counties in these landfills. So they're coming. I mean, it's worth their while to drive from Mount Sterling to come to here, and that's what we've been seeing. And so now that that's done, but the problem was, we were getting so much trash that our own citizens, we'd have to turn them away because we were running out of room.
Yeah, that's, that day that I had to shut down, I do believe that's part of the problem, is we had several out-of-county people come and dump, and it filled everything up. I've noticed already, of course, it's also that time of the year, people slow down on taking their trash out, but we are down at least one trailer load of trash per week now.
All right.
So we're not having to cram and
Right.
start sweating when the trailer starts getting full about, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so.
Can
that's
we
fine.
can we look again, maybe one of those 4-foot magnets that's on wheels?
We have one of those.
Do you?
Yes,
Okay.
Randall gets out there and he does a sweep whenever he can, so he gets done mashing the trash, so.
So it's swept daily?
Yes, we try to
Okay.
sweep it as best we can.
All right, thank
So,
you.
I've swept it myself, and it seems like you can go over the same spot 2 or 3 times, and every time you go there, there's another nail pops up or screw or.
Well, it's gonna take a while. Those things probably been buried in there for years.
They have.
Yeah.
Randall's telling me there's quite a few feet of gravel over there, so.
Yeah.
But it's one of the things, it's a problem. We're trying to address it. It's just kind of the way things are. It's the demon that we have, and we just have to constantly work at it, so.
Every load comes in there, it's probably got more nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do they go down on the blacktop too?
No, I haven't had that, but that's a good idea. I'll start having him. I know he does take the backhoe and he gets as much trash as he can is off of it, so. Notice you sent me a message the other night about that,
Well,
and so.
it wasn't about that. It was resident that lives on up there.
Wow.
They have flat.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, well, keep an eye on. I'm sure there's debris that falls off the trailers when they leave the facility, so.
Right.
But yeah, we can
Just start sweeping.
start
there, too.
sweeping. I might look into something that attaches to the front bucket of the backhoe. I know they make those type things, and he can just, take a wide swath across the road so we can. But if that person still has a flat tire, give me a call. We'll take care of it for him. So, just a couple concerns, ongoing things that needed. The barn that we have down there is in need of repair. We have missing pieces of tin off the roof, which allowed the rain to get inside. It's unfortunately soaked a lot of the timbers, and those timbers are starting to rot. So, I like to keep that barn. I want to use the barn, but I got to maintain it. So, we're gonna have to fix it up just a touch.
I think we went and sent out for, Linda, didn't we send out some quotes for that? Yeah. No? All right. Yeah, or the roof, yeah.
Yeah, I called him and he said Linda had already got
Alright.
in touch with him, so.
All right.
I'm just waiting to hear back from him.
Okay.
Another problem that we have is independent trash collectors. We have several in the county, and according to our records, only one has paid for a permit fee. Our permit fee is a grand total of $5. And we have not updated that since 2015. Really, it's not the money, it's not the permit fee that I'm concerned about. These trash collectors have to report back how much trash they take in, where they take it from, who their customers are, all kinds of information, and then I have to turn around and turn that into the state. So it's not the $5 permit fee, it's the fact that all the information that they're pulling in that I need, and that's part of the permit fee itself, so, they have to fill all this information out. But I will be sending out letters next week, letting them know that, according to our records, that they have not paid the permit fee. As of right now, if they do not pay the fee, I'm going to bar them from our facility. Because I need that information. It's not one of those I'd like to have, it's I have to have.
That's state requirement, KRS.
That is, quote Donnie Baker, that's state law.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. I need those numbers, so. And that's all I have. Any questions or comments, concerns? Nope.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What about the recycling? Is that anywhere, can we start recycling?
We are working on it. I've actually talked with Lisa Evans today. She's in charge of all the grants that go into the state of Kentucky. Currently, right now, we have 2 trailers, and we leave one here, and one is over in Wolfe County, and we swap those out. When this one gets full, we take it over there, bring the empty one back. The biggest thing to any recycling program is manpower, and that is simply something we don't have at the moment. I have 2 full-time employees, 2 part-time employees. I would love to have a system where we can get inmates to help out, but also recycling takes space. And again, that's why I'm very concerned about the barn that we have there. It needs to be patched up, because it says on the side of it, Morgan County Recycling Center. So that was years ago. I want to get it back up to running, but it's just one of those, it's going to take time. And the Kentucky Pride Grant, which deals with a lot of those recycling grants, comes down January 1st. So as soon as they come out, I'm definitely going to be on board. So we can start moving forth. Also, USDA has a few grants, and talking with Sarah Fannin, her and I, when I first took this job, we had a conversation. She's very interested in having a recycling program. So she'd be a great ally in that effort. So
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Any other questions for Jefferson? Thanks, Jefferson, appreciate it. Next up is the 911 Director Report. John, you want to come up to the podium and speak to us? What you got?
Hello, I spoke to you, I'm done.
All right, next.
Thank you. This is a request for information. It's a radio project that we are going to attempt to get things prepared for a grant process first of the year to fix a long-needed problem with communications in the county. So this is simply a request for information that we'll send out for vendors to come to us and tell us what they think will be the best solution for a countywide communication system. It's something we've talked about for many years, but we've never done it. So the Area Development District is actually the one that's going to be spearheading this, and we've got Katie Cartwright. She's doing an excellent job. I've already been very impressed with her. And again, this RFI request for information will be, she'll be the one that they'll be communicating with. However, we've got our own little working group here in the county, a little committee already kind of established, and we'll be working with all the fire chiefs, emergency management director, EMS, rescue, and of course my office will all be involved in it. So just need motion and to approve to release this RFI so we get started on it.
Yeah, when I first came into office, my first Gateway meeting, I asked Gateway to look at our communications and see what they could come up with. One of my concerns for the county, if we have another disaster and we're not really set up right now for comms. And we got places in the county you can't even, you go down in Cattle City, sheriff goes down there, he don't even have any comms down there, state police, fire, rescue, nothing. And we really need to look at this system, and all this is just a RFI, request for information. It's nothing else, nothing other than requesting for information to go from there. But we need to sit down and take a look at this and see if we can't fix this. And I've been talking to the other fire chiefs about it. We've met and talked about it, and we all agree we got a problem. And we can't fix that problem unless we start moving forward and looking at the issues and addressing them head on. And so you need a motion to approve the RFI?
As far as the number of radios, that's kind of a guesstimate.
Yeah.
That may not be the final product.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a starting point for them to submit information to us and what we need. And there'll be other aspects of it that is not included in this RFI that we may include in it, as far as using fiber and things to tie things together, but that will all come when we get ready to do an RFP, which is a request for proposals.
Right.
Then from the request for proposals, then we'll select someone that will apply for grant money to purchase most of this, we hope.
Yeah, we're looking at what kind of, once you get the RFI out, we'll go through that. This is a process, folks. And then the RFP next, we're looking at.
January, February, be here.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we do this.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to do an RFI for request for information for countywide emergency communications project. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. treasurer is up. Get some information for us?
I've got lots of information
Let's
for
roll.
you.
Everybody sit back, get something to drink.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get started. We'll go and start with 9A, which is the second reading of the fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 1. We also have an attachment on that. I'll kind of tell you about it. This is the second reading of the 2024 budget amendment number 1. The first reading was approved at our last meeting. It was advertised in the Licking Valley Courier and submitted to DLG for approval. If you want to open up that attachment, this amendment, I'll refresh you on it, is done to adjust the actual cash carryover balance for the budget. And as you'll notice on this one, the state local finance officer has approved and signed this amendment, and we will just need a motion to adopt the 2024 budget amendment number 1.
When you're ready, I'll entertain a motion to adopt fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 1.
I'll make a motion.
You already got beat?
Got me.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second to adopt fiscal year 2024 budget amendment number 1. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 9B is the discussion of the payroll direct deposit. As some of you all know, we have started the discussion and kind of doing the beginning stages of payroll direct deposit. We feel that payroll direct depositing will bring efficiency and cost savings to the processing of our payroll, and will also provide convenience to the employees by having their pay automatically deposited to their bank account each payday. And we have with us Patty Gibson from Commercial Bank, and she would like to give us a little bit of information on the direct deposit and our agreement that we would need with Commercial Bank.
Good evening, Patty.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. I work for Commercial Bank. I've been there for 36 years. And I have dealt with, and I'm going to call it ACH, is working with an automatic clearinghouse for these transactions. So if I refer to ACH, that's what I mean, direct deposit type thing. There are many benefits. Do I need to use the microphone?
Yeah, use the microphone. Don't worry
Sorry.
about the number. Brandon's here to translate for us.
Okay. There are many benefits for direct deposit for the county and for the employee, both. For one, it saves supplies. You don't have to buy checks. You don't have to print checks. You don't have to put postage if you mail your payroll checks to the employee. So that's a cost savings right there. If an employee loses their check, this really don't happen because it's automatically deposited into their account, so there's no physical paper for them to lose. It's safer and more secure for the county because if you hand out a check, you're also handing out your account number. Have you ever thought of that? Tommy was very instrumental in that, saying that, you're putting out your account information every time you hand your check to someone. Also, if the employee wants to change their account number or change their bank that they do direct deposit with, it's as simple as filling out a form, and the next payroll, your deposit goes into the new account. And it's easy to set up. I'm sure your software handles direct deposits. Yes. And if you have any questions whatsoever about how to set it up, I will be more than willing to help you. Now, the benefits to the employee. One of the best things is that everybody gets their paycheck earlier, or possibility. At Commercial Bank, we do deposit our direct deposits 1 day early. So they would get their money early as long as we get the file in to process. It's convenient for your employees because they don't have to go to the bank to cash their check. If your employee does not have an account, Commercial Bank is going to give them an employee account, or for the county employees, they're going to give a free account. So they just have to say that they work for the county and with a direct deposit, and there will be no service charge on the account. Again, there's not a chance for lost checks because the employee don't, have the possibility of losing their check before they cash it, or my best thing would be washing it in my pant pocket. Let me tell you, your debit card comes in handy because it is washable. And of course, it's a secure deposit. Everybody uses direct deposit now. There's no question about that. And also, with a direct deposit from your payroll, you can automatically put money into a savings account or a Christmas club account, vacation account. So there's lots of reasons for direct deposit. So I hope you guys will approve this. And anytime I can be of assistance in processing the payroll or getting it set up, I'll be more than willing to help.
Patty, can you speak a little bit to the agreement too?
The agreement, basically, it just says that you will abide by NACHA rules. That's the standard for direct deposits. And there are some limitations and stuff in there, like the SEC codes. I'm using things that you probably don't know what they are. It's not Southeast Conference, let me tell you. But it's a standard entry code, is what SEC stands for. And there's different ways you can process. But the ones that you will be doing with direct deposit is called prearranged debits and credits. So it's a PPD. So, and possibly if you do some transfers, it could be a CCD. So that is basically what you will be doing. And that's what it states in their agreement, and that you will follow the NACHA rules, and I will give you the information for the NACHA regulations. So, anybody else have any questions?
Questions, concerns?
And our software is already set up for direct deposit.
Mm-hmm.
It is, so we're ready for
Well,
it.
it works with it hand in hand, yes, but we'll have to have a.
Yeah, some
agreement.
banks also charges a fee for processing ACH, and in Commercial Bank, we will not be charging any type of fee for the processing of direct deposits.
All right. And so the employees come in, they fill everything out, they put their bank account they want it to go to. It doesn't matter which bank it goes to or where it's at.
That's correct.
And you guys, Commercial Bank will process it.
Process the direct deposit file, which will send the money out to all the different accounts.
Is this something we're going to do like mandatory for all employees, that it will be, nobody will be getting a check?
Right. Now, the other benefit, I don't have to sign all these checks, I guess. I guess that's a benefit. I spend signing checks.
And just think how many trees you'll save.
Yeah, I haven't signed that many checks. I mean, God. I didn't know, I came on here, I didn't know there was anybody still doing paper. So I got here.
As doing the payroll, we'll also make sure that we have an internal procedures in place.
Yes.
That everything will be double checked and everything will be signed off on as far as that will go in place also.
That is also included in the contract, that you will do dual control.
Yes.
Of,
Yes, we'll make sure that those are in place before we ever start that, as long as the required documentation from each employee that we'll need.
All right.
and if you need a sample form, I have that too.
Okay, thank you, Patty.
Any more questions for Mrs. Gibson? None? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve ACH origination agreement with Commercial Bank of West Liberty and to direct the county treasurer to initiate payroll direct deposit for all employees for which payroll checks are processed as soon as the required documentation and internal procedures are in place. All in favor? Oh, no, sorry. I jumped. I'll entertain that motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'm reading
I'll
it, so you
second.
guys ain't gotta read it all, we can just do it one time. All right, now, somebody made the motion, somebody second it, all right. We have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Patty.
Yes, thank you, Patty. And we'll get started with that. Be calling you tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we'll move on to 9C, which is review of the Judicial Center Sinking Fund accounts activity.
That's a horrible name.
Yeah. Okay, we have prepared 2 spreadsheets for the Judicial Center Sinking Fund accounts. These are just off the books bond obligations related to the Judicial Center. This is required by the auditors and is part of our corrective action plan that we have created over the last few months to keep the court informed of that debt. So if you all will click onto the first attachment, this is the 2013 series. I've included those on there. This is actually a analysis of the activity for the series 2013 public properties. There are 2 accounts on those, and if you'll notice that we'll be submitting these to the court twice a year, and we just want to keep you all informed of the debt. The principal balance right now is $700,000 on that one, and we just are doing this semi-annually to show you that payments are made to keep you informed as to the outstanding balance, and this, as I said, is required for us to do. And after you've reviewed that, there's also a second attachment, which is the analysis of activity for the 2020 public properties. And if you'll notice, there are 3 accounts on those. We are reconciling these accounts each month. If you'll notice, we've started in January, and that's showing your balances as of the end of June, which is $7,120,000 on the principal balance. And we will need a motion to accept those.
All right, I entertain a motion to accept Judicial Center Sinking Fund accounts activity for Series 2013 and Series 2020 bonds as of June 30th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to accept the Judicial Center Sinking Fund.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All right, we have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second to accept the Judicial Sinking Fund accounts activity for Series 2013 and Series 2020 bonds as of June 30th, 2023. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, we'll move on to 9D. That is the review of the July 31st, 2023 financial statements. This is just a review of the July 31st, 2023 financial statement. If you want to open up the first attachment, I'll kind of walk you through those and go over that with you. And this is something that we will be presenting to the court each month. And you'll also notice on the bottom of that report, those show that they have been reconciled and that our cash balance is the same for the books and the bank. And I'll read those off to you by fund. The general fund has $1,347,720.89. Road fund, $402,168.97. Jail fund, $50,347. LGEA, $4,418.23. Forest fire, $962.16. Special projects, $232,261.64. Clerk dock fees, $13,398.70. Public properties funds, $322,653.98, with a total of $2,373,931.57. And we have also included as 2 separate attachments an appropriation condition report ending July 31, and also a revenue condition report. And basically what those two reports show you is everything that is coming in and everything that has went out. And that's what makes up that financial statement and gives you all those numbers. And you can review those whenever you need to. They're quite lengthy reports, but we will need a motion after they get done to approve that.
So when you're ready, we will entertain a motion to approve the July 31st, 2023 financial statements.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the July 31st, 2023 financial statements. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, moving right along, 9E, this is similar to the same thing that we just went over, but it's a review as of August 24th financial statement. That was dated as of our regular scheduled meeting, so I've attached those as well, just to give you an up-to-date balance on everything, just to keep the court as informed as possible. We want to go ahead and review that with you guys. As you can see, the numbers have changed. The cash balance for the general fund is $1,340,846.28. Road fund, $1,495,032.18. The jail fund, $142,598.48. LGEA, $47,322.73. Forest fire, $962.16. Special projects, $230,000, $261.64. Clerk dock fees, $14,608.70. The public properties fund, $322,653.98.
Hey, Sheena?
Yes.
I think there's a discrepancy maybe.
Okay.
Are you all seeing the same thing I am?
Our totals
Which
are
one?
different.
Our totals are different, yeah.
Total are
For the
different,
most, for like the general road.
I think LGEA is about the only one.
Yeah, the special projects was different.
Oh, are you telling the cash balance on the top? I didn't include the encumbrances. I was gonna go over that
Oh, all right.
with you next, but okay. Yeah, we have encumbrances, which encumbrances show.
I see what you
Yes,
did.
the encumbrances, yes, the encumbrances show, the debt that we have right now. And those will be also in the vendor claims. They'll reflect what money that we have yet to pay out pending your all's approval. And we do have an unencumbered cash balance at the bottom. That'll be actually the bottom line if you all want to view those. But that'll be after you subtract out the $195,110.57. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
But yes, and then those will also, and we've also included a updated revenue condition report and an appropriation condition report as of August 24th. And we'll need to approve those financial statements.
All right. So we have a motion on, we need a motion, to entertain a motion to approve the August 24, 2023 financial statements. When you're ready.
I'll make a motion.
No second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the August 24, 2023 financial statements. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, moving right along to 9F. This is to approve the budget appropriation transfers. I've also included an attachment on that, if y'all want to open that up. This is budget transfer number 2. We have added some accounts, and we needed to move money into those line items, for those expense line items, so we can start using those to make purchases out of. The first one is for coroner equipment supplies, transferring $500, county treasurer bond, $266.55. Emergency management supplies, $1,000. Solid waste supplies, $1,000. Solid waste coordinator travel expense, $500. Wellness center concession travel expense, $500. Wellness center concession equipment, $2,500. Wellness center event supplies, $2,500. And we transferred those into those line items from the reserve for transfers fund in the budget, totaling $8,766.55. And in the road fund, we also created the line item for road department vehicle purchase that was approved at, I think, our last meeting for $41,117.35, and that also come out of the reserve for transfers line item. This budget transfer will be for $49,883.90 in total.
So when you're ready, we'll entertain a motion to approve budget appropriation transfers in the amount of $49,883.90.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget appropriation transfers.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve budget appropriation transfers in the amount of $49,883.90. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 9G is approve interfund cash transfer. Basically, what we're doing here is transferring money from the general fund to the jail fund per the budget. I've included an attachment on that as well, and we transferred $100,000 into the jail fund from the general fund, and that was as needed per the budget. And we will need a approval on that too.
Entertain a motion to approve the interfund cash transfers in the amount of $100,000. When you're ready.
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve interfund cash transfers in the amount of $100,000. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 9H is the update, the standing orders list. This is something that we present to you all when the budget is approved, and you will create a standing order list, and that allows us to be able to pay invoices that come in that need to be paid immediately, such as utilities and certain things like that. But we also want to note that we do bring those in for ratification every meeting after they are paid. So these are expense line items that are used when we make Amazon and Costco purchases with our credit card. We wanted to put those on there because they will be ordered as needed, and we wanted to submit that into DLG. I've included an attachment. I went ahead and highlighted all the ones for you all to see that we did add. If you want to kind of scan down through those, you will also see that some of those line items were also the ones that we created and added to the budget that we definitely wanted to let you all know that we did. And we will submit this to DLG for approval upon court approval.
So when you're ready, we'll entertain a motion to update the standing orders for reoccurring payments for the fiscal year 2024.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor, it's been properly seconded to update the standing orders for recurring payments for fiscal year 2024. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, 9I is an update on the payment of $1,478,819.03 of invoices left unpaid. Of invoices left unpaid by the previous administration. The CAECO bond funds of $1.5 million were received on August the 8th. Checks in a totaling $1,478,819.03 to 4 vendors were issued on August the 9th. And we can say proudly that they have all received the payment, and they were very happy to get those.
Yes, they were.
They were, and I'll kind of go over with you in detail the vendor claims register, if you want to open up that attachment. The first check that we issued was to ER Assist for the storm debris removal. It was for $308,473.12. The next one was for Hinkle Contracting. It was for the Wellness Center parking lot, asphalt and material, county roads, blacktop projects. The total to Hinkle that was paid was $642,712.33. Standifer Builders was for the Wellness Center parking lot paving. County roads, blacktop projects paving was $42,480.45. And the last check was to ICD, and it was for ice storm debris removal, and it was for $485,153.13. And we can proudly say that those now have been paid.
Yes, and we, I think, except for ICD, we hand carried those checks to them.
Yes.
I took Standifers over, Sheena and Tommy took Hinkles and personally handed it off to them. Those folks have been waiting 2 years for that money, so we felt we needed to deliver it personally. So, anything, you don't need a motion on
No,
this?
that's just
the
basically
information.
informational,
But,
to
yeah,
let the court know that,
It's not,
we did receive the bond funds, and that money that we received in has been paid out to get those vendors paid.
Sheen, I've got a question.
Okay.
When we start the process of trying to recoup some of the money from FEMA?
Yes, we have already started,
Oh.
actually. Yes,
Well,
as soon as they, as soon as they cashed those checks and they cleared the bank, I got a copy of the canceled check from our online banking, sent it to Vanessa. She then submitted it to ER Assist, and they've already stared the process.
Good.
Good.
Yes,
It's
to
already good.
get
It's
that
going,
money
guys.
back to us. So
That'd
that
be-
process has already started.
That'll be a big, big help.
that'd be a
Yes,
huge help.
yes,
Was it 90%? I think it was 90%, wasn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's in the budget.
And
Yep,
it's,
it's in the
yes,
budget.
Tommy has already accounted for it in the budget that was created, yes. So, but that's just a bit of good news that we
Yeah, it's good
can
news.
report
It's
to
a lot of good news.
everyone.
The debts are paid, and we're getting ready to get reimbursed for it, at least 90% of it. So
Yeah, we're in the process, we've already
Yeah.
started that, so
started
that's
the
good
process.
news. Okay, moving right along, 9J is changes to chart of accounts. Again, just wanting to keep you all very informed, very well informed about any changes that we make to the budget at all. And I know you all are kind of going to recognize these account names, because once you do something and we create this new chart of accounts and we add it to the budget, you have to add, money in those line items to pay those expenses out of. So it's kind of a process, but we just want to keep you all, the county, the court, everyone informed on what we're doing. There are 7 expense line items that we created. The first one was with the road fund, is for the road department vehicle purchase. That's a new expense line item. The solid waste coordinator travel expense, that's another expense line item. Wellness center concession travel expense, wellness center concession equipment, wellness center event supplies, and we had one revenue line item that we created for the old jail tours. We've had revenue actually come in for that. And then we also had an emergency management supplies line item that we also added to the budget.
All right, I entertain a motion to ratify changes to the Morgan County Fiscal Court Budget Chart of Accounts when you're ready.
What is the second line item there, the travel expense for solid waste coordinator?
That is for the solid waste coordinator. If he makes a trip out to go and clean up a dump, and he's making several trips, hauling stuff that he's
Personal
cleaned up.
vehicle.
Your
Yes.
personal POV.
And those will all be presented to at the meeting. Everything will come through for approval.
Why don't you explain that old jail tours? I saw that.
I knew that
came
was
up
gonna
in
come up.
conversation here the other day
Oh, boy.
at work, as I had no idea about it. It's
Yeah, it's still a work progress. We're getting ready to probably be coming with you next month with something. I gotta get with Miles. We gotta work some more stuff out. We did an experiment. We got a call a while back from a guy and talking about doing old jail tours for ghost hunters, and I just didn't really think much about it. I was like, yeah, sure. And then he called back again, and I was like, okay. And I said, we went to CAECO, asked them about liability and all that. And they said, well, he'd need $1 million policy and this, and this. And I was like, okay. I said, well, that's going to kill this. So I called him back and told him what he had to do. He called me back in a few days later and emailed us the $1 million policy and everything else. And I was talking to Miles about it. We said, well, all right, he's done this. We'll let it see what it's about. Turned out there's a couple of our local folks here, I guess it's involved in that, and they work for the county government. I didn't know that either. And so I got in contact with them, hooked them up, and I said, go over and see what happens with this. And they went over and did it. And they did two things. Yeah. Yeah, they did two things. And the next week they gave us $300. And so we're going to use that to fix the doors now. And we're going to go move ahead with it, I guess. And I guess they want to do something with Sword
That
Festival.
won't keep the ghost out, will it?
I know that won't keep the ghost out. I don't think so.
Might keep them in.
Might keep them in. That's the idea, is to keep them in. So Sorghum Festival even approved them to do tours during the Sorghum Festival, the committee. So it's moving along. We'll see. I started researching this. I'm glad you asked me this, because I started researching this. That's a $300 to $500 million industry. I had no idea.
I didn't even.
That blows my mind. Since then we're getting calls from Las Vegas, California. There's people. This one guy, he came in there the other night, and the second one, he's got 2.9 million followers. That tour of the jails had over 500,000 views so far.
Wow.
So this could be a huge boom for us, down the road. We're going to get with Miles later on. We're going to gin up a contract with them and bring it toward the physical court. We experimented just to see what would happen, and it looks like it might be viable. So, but we wanted to check it out before we, committed to it. And we'll go, hey, if it brings tourism in here, if people from Las Vegas want to come from Sin City to West Liberty, Morgan County, and spend some money, I'm up for it. At least I'm getting the front door fixed with it. But that's the story, and I'm sticking to it.
I'll make a motion that we ratify changes to the fiscal court budget chart.
I'll second.
And we have a motion on the floor to ratify changes to the Morgan County Fiscal Court budget chart of accounts to include the Ghostbusters. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to 9K. This is the analysis of the fiscal year 2023 expenditures. This is something that Tommy had created based on the numbers from the settlement that he done for the fiscal year 23 expenditures. I think it's pretty awesome how you can see how actually all the money throughout that whole year where it had been spent. And that's basically informational for you all, and you can read that, but I felt that it was very informative, and you all would appreciate having that information on that chart there showing you how the money is being spent. And that's just for informational purposes for you all. All right, we can move on as soon as everyone is ready. To the next item is treasurer's periodic checklist. Like I said last meeting, this is something new that we'll be bringing to you every meeting. This is something that the finance officer, Vicki Lewis, and I have created to make sure that all of our important tasks are being completed in a timely manner, and that we make you all aware that all this is being completed and done. The first attachment is for monthly checklist for July. We had brought that to you at the last meeting, and it was only partially completed due to, the timing of the meeting. We hadn't had to do the end of the month payroll yet or nothing like that, but we just wanted to show you all and keep you informed that certain things like the retirement, sales tax, payroll tax, Kentucky payroll tax payments, our garnishments, any kind of self-pay insurance, bond payments, restaurant tax, and all of our quarterly reports, they have all been submitted, paid, and double-checked. So that's just informational for you all. And also, I kind of wanted to add that we, on the payroll side of it, we have started doing the clerk and sheriff's payroll, if you'll notice as well, in July, and that's going really well. Everything's worked out really good with those other two offices, and we're just wanting to keep you informed on that. And I also added another monthly checklist for August, and this one is partially complete because I had already uploaded it for last week's meeting. But as of now, I'll present that to you at the next meeting, and it will show that it has been completed after Vicki gets a chance to double check all those numbers. We just had end of the month payroll today. But as you can see that we are on track with all those being done timely, and we just want to keep you informed of that as well. And I will not need anything. That's just basically informational to the court.
Okay.
And as of right now, that's all I.
You're done, huh?
I have for right now.
All right, for right
For
now.
right now.
That's enough. All right.
Good.
Yes. Thank you.
Let's bring Sheriff Greg Motley up. Sheriff's going to talk to us about vehicle financing.
All right, thank you. I just want to say that I've attended just about every court meeting in the last 4.5 years. Appreciate seeing the way things are operating now. It's moving in a business-like manner. Makes me feel good as the sheriff to see that happen. So that's just my 2 cents worth on that. But I'm looking to purchase a vehicle. I need you guys to look at doing a resolution. We've got the quote through National Auto Fleet Group. Tommy had told me how to do this. It's I guess a pre-bidded process, or that's not probably the right word, but irregardless, we don't have to advertise bids. We go through them, and so it's $44,000 for a Dodge Durango. But I want to try to do it through KCO Leasing, and we need it badly. Right now, I don't have a decent spare vehicle, or right now I've got 2 older vehicles. One's down with a bad engine, and maybe the other one has a bad engine as well. The vehicles that we started out with in 19, 160,000, 170,000 miles on them. So, we're patrolling, taking care of the county. It puts a lot of miles on vehicles. We use a lot of fuel. So, if we can get one now, kind of see where we're at with that, and then we'll kind of move along. I will just take a minute, if you don't mind, just so you know, and I haven't come in and done a report with you guys or anything. And I'm not going to take a bunch of time because I know the meetings are long.
You're good.
But to date, the sheriff's office has worked 90 crashes this year in our county. We've opened up over 64 cases, criminal cases. We've written over 177 citations, and citations are not necessarily a priority to me. And the majority of those citations are bad traffic violations or warrant service, things like that. So we're trying to take care of the criminal kind of things. I didn't come in, and I don't have the number on the amount of civil process that we've served, but we've responded to 2,447 complaints to date. So the guys that are working, and that's been pretty much with 3 patrol deputies and myself and 1 part-time doing most of it. Very happy today. We had Brian Hillman graduate from the Department of Criminal Justice Training after 18 weeks academy, so he'll be out. That puts us up to 4 patrol deputies. You're going to see us a little out a little bit more now because we're going to have a few more people out. So that'll be good. We'll be able to schedule a little better. One of the things I've tried to do in the sheriff's office, we've done the AUP the last 2 years. And if y'all don't, I think you all know what that is. If you don't, it's agreed upon procedures. That once we had a clean audit our first year, then we were allowed to apply for that, so we did. And so that saves the county, I think our audit bill last year was $1,500. And that went down from about $10,000. Now, that ain't all savings from that because the state started picking up part of the payout, but it would have been about $3,000. So just wanted you to know, we're working in the sheriff. We spend a lot of money, and I come and ask for money because we have to have money. We don't make money in law enforcement, but we try to be frugal with what we do have. But we have to pay our folks because we have to train them, and once we train them, everybody else is trying to get them. So I have to try to work that out best we can. One of the things we did the last 2 years, Tim Keller called me and he's like, hey, I found a couple of salvage vehicles. If you'd like them, I'll try to help you get them. And so he purchased them. We bought them off him. We had Ross Perkins over at Easel fix them. Dale striped them. I had one of the local boys here in town, Jacob Ratliff, put the radios and lights and things in them. And we saved the county probably $45,000, $50,000. These vehicles were low mileage vehicles that we've got them on the road and they're patrolling the county. So I know we spend a lot of money, and I know it costs a lot of money, and I'm going to ask for money. I mean, I'm just telling you that along the line. But I just also wanted you to kind of know too that when we come in and ask for a new vehicle, I mean, that new vehicle is going to have a bunch of miles on it pretty quick. I mean, these 2019 cars got 160,000 miles on it, 170,000. So, but I know that the people in the community, when they have an emergency, they want us to show up. Mm-hmm. And we got to have, things to equipment, money, or equipment, vehicles, and things like that to get there. So, anyway, that's if you all would, I would certainly appreciate the resolution on the vehicle. Once we get that one, kind of see where we're at financially, how our budget's going, then we may come in and try to do another one. But y'all got any questions at all? I mean, like I said, I haven't been in. I kind of hate to take up your time in these long meetings, but if you got any questions about Sheriff's Office, I'm an open book. Just ask me. I'll be glad to answer.
I want to say, first off, I really appreciate the line of communication, the open line of communication that we have between the judge's office and the sheriff's office. We talk, we go out, we ride. I've went out on a call with him, or 2 or 3, and I really appreciate that, Sheriff.
Well, and I as well, because it's certainly nice. I mean, you and I were out the other evening till 7:30 on dealing with a complaint, and it was a complaint that involved the sheriff's office and the judge's office, if you will, and so it was something that both of us had to deal with, and those things aren't popular, guys, and you all know as magistrates when you deal with these road issues and things, they're not popular complaints, so we had to deal with it, but I think we did, and we worked together, we talked daily, and I'm willing to talk to any of you all daily if you want to talk to me. I just hate to call you all the time, but if you all want to know something, call me. And I don't think any of you have ever called, I don't answer, I don't call you right back. We kind of try to do that, but again, I'm real proud of the way things are going. I think we got to move forward, and I think we are. And I'm going to do my part the next 3 years or 3.5, whatever it is left to keep doing that. And so, if you all, like I said, have questions, anything at all. Oh, one thing too. We just was involved in a pretty major drug bust up in the edge of McGoffin County. I have Doyle Wilson, who works part-time with us as our drug investigator, and he's sworn in. We got him sworn in through the Attorney General's office, so we're able to task force, if you will, with the Attorney General's office. So we were working with Sheriff Meade up in McGoffin County on a drug dealer that's right on the line up there that was throwing a bunch of dope our way. So not only we're working wherever we can to stop it coming into our county and stop it once it gets here. So I know those things are, I mean, it moves kind of slow sometimes, but when we make hits, we make big hits. So this guy's looking at 30 years federal prison. So we're real happy with that, and it's certainly going to slow down the flow of drugs to Morgan County. So anyway, if you have complaints on that kind of thing, let me know, because the only way we can respond to them is if we know about them. So, thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, we all heard from the sheriff, and we'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution for a purchase of a new sheriff's vehicle through Sourcewell's quote number 25138R2 in the amount of $44,558.38 with financing through Keiko Leasing, with the sheriff's office providing payment reimbursement to the fiscal court.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve this resolution of purchase of new sheriff's vehicle. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, discussion of the 3% annual raise. It's about that time of the year again. We need to look at giving the, this is just a discussion, well, it's discussion and a motion, looks like. A discussion to discuss the raise of 3%. Sheena, you got some numbers for us about what that's going to come to?
Yes, actually, annually, the 3% wage increase will cost the general fund $16,000, the road fund $9,000, the jail fund $3,200, plus benefits totaling approximately around $8,000 across the appropriate funds.
So that's what we're looking at to do is 3%. I would like to give them more, but I don't think at this point with the situation, finance and everything that we're in, I think we should go a little bit easy on that. But I want to give them something, and I think 3% will do for now.
This raise that we have figured in doesn't apply to employees on probationary status, elected officials, the county treasurer, clerks or sheriff's employees. That probationary employees will receive the 3% raise if approved, contingent upon a satisfactory review at the end of their probationary period. We just wanted to also put that in there too.
Sheriff, you got something to say?
Judge, I just want to say that I know Randy and I, with the two defense officers, and we've talked about that. I'm not going to, well, I think I can speak for Randy too, in saying that we're going to try to follow suit with that.
Okay.
Yes, Randy talked to me, and
Okay.
We're going to do everything we can to try to do that as well. That way we keep everybody on the same page. So
Okay.
we're going to try to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy came and talked to me the other day about it, so he's going to do the same thing.
Based on the consumer price index.
Yeah,
Oh, yes, this was based on the consumer price index also.
that's where we got it from.
So are we still looking at going over the payroll from top to bottom as far as?
In fact, that's getting ready to, with the admin code and all that, that's going to come out. I know there'll be classifications there'll be starting points and ending points for job classifications. That's coming down the road.
Good. Operator, CDL operator?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we got, right now, Gateway Ad is working on our admin code, and they've started that, and part of that will be the classifications and how people's pay raises get their pay raise, so we don't have to do a lot of this.
Was this budgeted?
Huh?
Was this budgeted?
No,
No, it was not budgeted. That's the reason I didn't want to go
no.
more than that. Right now, we can fit it, it'll work, but I know I'd like to give them more, but we just can't. And with the inflation, I know they need something, and a lot of, people are out there, they're not getting a lot right now with the rate of inflation increasing, so I'd like to give them something, but I can't go feasibly above that 3%. It'd be rough. We can fit the 3% in, even though it wasn't budgeted, but we can.
Yeah, we've looked at the budget and we are able to do the 3% with the appropriate, plus the benefit totals.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other thing. You gotta look at benefits and everything else in this when you do it, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's only $36,000 across all funds.
Yeah.
I thought it would be more than that, but
Yeah, that's why I was, that's the reason I looked at the 3%. I said, well, that we can, after we, Sheena ran all the numbers for us, answered all the questions.
I'll make a motion to approve 3% annual raise effective next paycheck.
Just whatever you all decide to do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just, is that feasible? I mean, I gotta assume that you could
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. That can be done.
However you all decide to do it will be fine with me.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve a 3% annual pay raise effective the next pay check for hourly and salaried employees of the fiscal court. Does not apply to employees on probationary status, elected officials, the county treasurer, clerk's employees, our sheriff's employees. Probationary employees will receive the 3% raise contingent upon satisfactory review at the end of their probationary period. Any further questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? Questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Motion carried.
Who seconded that?
Donnie did.
Thank you.
And Eric abstained. He has a reason.
Yeah, please note the reason I abstained is because of close family members that are employees.
Yeah. So, moving along. Okay, we're going to discuss the approval of social media moderation policy. The policy, once adopted, will be distributed to all employees, which I believe they will have to sign, correct, if they have received this policy? Yes. So, you can check the attachment out and look at it. I think we discussed this once before.
And we have Miles take a look at it.
Yes.
And Miles has looked at it, so there's just a couple pages there, so it's not too
Yeah,
bad.
we included an attachment there
Yeah.
for you all to view.
So once you've read it and you're good with it, we'll entertain a motion to approve the social media moderation policy, which shall be distributed to employees, requiring them to review. And we have, the reason we're doing this, we've had some issues with social media. For instance, we're not allowed to block people, and people have been blocked, so we've stopped that. And there's some other issues that we've had to fix, so, but we need this policy because we don't have the policy in place now. This will be adopted and probably, and put into our admin code too. But we need something now.
Make a motion that we approve this social media policy.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve social media moderation policy, which shall be distributed to all employees, requiring them to review. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, update on the automated time for clock project.
Okay, I'll go over that briefly with everyone. This is something that last meeting, the court voted to start the facial recognition time clocks. They have been received in the office, and full installation is still pending at the moment, but we have got all of them installed except for at 2 locations, and Tommy has been helping us on that, and he's just about ready to get all those installed. We have 2 more, I think, that we need to get done. All employees have been added to the system, but we are in the process of enrolling facial recognition for each employee. They just have to stop by the office, and it takes 10 seconds. They just get scanned, it puts them into the system, into that time clock system, and that way it'll recognize them when they want to clock in and out. We expect to go live hopefully around October the 1st, which of course that's subject to initial testing and installation of internet at 1 location. So that's still kind of pending there. But what we wanted to do was go ahead and get this installed and get everyone scanned in, so that way, like the whole month of September, they can practice on that and get used to doing it. And then when we go live on October 1st, that'll scan everyone into the payroll system, and it'll just be so much more efficient. And I feel like the employees, once that they start doing it, they'll feel like it's a lot easier and a lot better for them as well. So that's pretty much all the update that I have on that, but we're just in the process of doing that, and everything right now is going pretty good so far, the ones that we've installed.
And to dispel some rumors, it is not a listening device.
No.
It is not a surveillance program. We won't be dropping in and listening on conversations. It will not be going out to the internet. Some of the other stuff I've heard, none of that. So Eric uses it over at Lions, and I've used it in the DOD, and it's not.
We actually put our new ones in. We've had it for years, but we bought new ones, put them in Monday.
Yeah.
They started. We had over 80 employees that wouldn't recognize out of 200.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, the sensitivity.
Sensitivity.
Turns way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
they're really good.
Yeah, with this program, we also have for like departments that are kind of like your deputies and so forth, like people like that, we also have the app that can go on their cell phone, and it'll allow them to clock in and out like that. There's several different options that we have to doing this, but the facial recognition so far has went really well.
We have some more training tomorrow.
Yes. And we'll also, we told some of the employees when they come in that once we do our training, that we will call everyone in and let them train as well on that. So as soon as we get the information, we'll pass it along to everyone and to you all as well. So that's all the update that we have as of right now, but we'll keep you all posted as soon as everything gets set and we start working on that.
All right, up next is the second reading of the 2023 reapportionment ordinance. I guess I need to read this.
Just read the title only, Judge, all you have.
That's all I gotta do, is read the title. An ordinance in pursuit of KRS 67.045, adopting the report of the Reapportionment Commission and reestablishing the boundary lines of the existing magisterial districts, adopting a map of the same and fixing compensation of the Reapportionment Commission. And this comes to us from the Reapportionment Commission that we did a while back and put together, and they came back with the recommendations.
So just to clarify, there were no changes, correct?
There were 0 changes. I mean, it stayed the same. The biggest controversy was, and that was because of the EKCC inmate population. Made one district look really super large. And that's, once you took them out, it all kind of balanced out. And it wasn't, still a little bit, but not enough for us to go start changing stuff. Those other counties in much worse condition than us. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the second reading and adoption of the 2023 reapportionment ordinance.
Make that motion.
Second.
Motion on the floor been properly second to approve the second reading and adoption of the 2023 reapportionment ordinance. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes.
You know, if you let's see Vicki before you leave, because you need to sign this resolution.
Make sure you see her on your way out.
On this document, Jim, why does it say Menifee County there at the end of it?
Yeah, it does. I
It
saw
does?
that last night. Yeah, it does.
That document provided us for Gateway, they probably just copied it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
We'll see about getting that fixed.
yeah, that's Rick Stiltner's problem over there, Judge Stiltner. He's the one having to change all the lines over there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's got some, he's that county I was talking about. If you're listening, Judge, I'm talking about you. He tunes in occasionally, believe it or not. Okay, moving along, 2023 county ad valorem tax rates and revenue. Sheena?
Okay, we have included an attachment on that for you all to view. This is the annual rate that is set by the court. We've attached a calculation of the real estate tax rates from DLG. If you want to open that attachment up, I'll kind of go over that with you. This is something that's done annually by the court. If you'll scroll on down to page 3, that shows kind of in the middle of the page, you'll see the real property. Our compensating rate is 6%, which has always been, and the option of a 4% increase, which would be, if you'll notice down on the asterisk at the bottom, a hearing will be required. But that will be left up to the court to set that rate at the 6%, which no hearing will be required. And that will set the county tax rate to what you all would want it to be.
You got your watercraft motor vehicle.
Yep, let me get where that.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. The watercraft would be 8.6, and the motor vehicles will be at 8.6 as well. And this is the same as it was.
Yeah, this is leaving everything
That's as is.
As is, we're not changing anything.
No.
Can we
I mean,
lower
it would be, that's how it's totally left up to.
Can we lower it?
Not with the situation we're in now. I don't know. I'd be kind of. Believe me, I'd love nothing to lower taxes.
Well, we can do 1%.
Huh?
We can do 1%.
Man, listen, here's the sheriff come in and comment on that. About lowering the tax rate 1%. He's laughing.
We need all the money we can get.
May have to go back and take that pay raise out.
I'll make a motion to keep the rates the same. It's better than raising them.
Say that again?
I said it's better than raising them.
Oh, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'd rather keep them the same right now, and then we can look at it again next year and go from there. Just let's get ourselves back in some good financial stabilization on our feet here.
Just to clarify, we're not raising taxes.
Yeah, we are not raising taxes. Say that clearly into that microphone.
We are not raising taxes.
Yes.
We're not lowering them.
Yeah, we're not gonna lower them either, but maybe next year. So, we have a motion, was there a second? And to set the 2023 county ad valorem tax rates at 6% for real estate, 8.6% for motor vehicles and watercraft. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Okay, next up, update on the Archive of Social project. Mrs. Lewis, you have a lead on that?
Well, you probably remember that you voted for us to participate with this Archive Social company.
Could you
and they-
move your mic around there? Thank you. There, thank you.
Anyway, we have it in place now. It's operational. We are currently using it. And the most important reason for this is because of the Freedom of Information Act. Because in all 50 states, social media posts and comments or whatever are considered a part of open record. So if you receive an open records request, they can ask you for your Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media you have information. And if you've ever tried to go back, which I did once, and amass that information yourself, it's a terrible job and you won't do it properly. And you can't do it properly because people delete their posts, people get blocked, people have posts hidden, so you're not going to end up getting all the information yourself. And so what Archive Social does, as soon as you make a post, it's there. And if you delete it, too bad, it's still there. And if you've hidden a post, it's there. I mean, it lives forever on Archive Social, so that if you do have a request, then you're able to provide it through this program. And in addition to that, I mean, that's probably the most important reason to have it. But in addition to that, you can do all kinds of reports on your social media. It gives you all kinds of data on just how many posts have been made on, say, the animal shelter, or how many comments have been made on something if you're interested, or just all kinds of data like that. Plus, it's searchable. Suppose that you need to know something that had to do with, I don't know, abuse, animal shelter again, just for example. You could just type that in there and it'll bring you up a report that'll show you all the posts that have been made containing that word, so that you don't, I mean, it's just like typing it in Google and bringing it up. I mean, it brings up everything that you have. And so it shows all blocked, anything that's been blocked, anything that's been hidden, any kind of comments or messages or anything. Anything you need to know about your social media, you can use one of these reports to find it out. And if you get an open records request that asks for your social media information, it's not a big deal. It's right there. You can get it with just a keystroke or two. So I found it to be very impressive. It's much better than I had anticipated it to be. So this is just for your information that we do have it now, and it's working, and it works really well.
All right. Thank you, Vicki. Appreciate that update. Moving along to the Library District Board appointments process. You open up your attachment there. This is a resolution. I'll go ahead and read this. Whereas the Morgan County Library District is established with Morgan County, and whereas the Morgan County Judge Executive, with approval of the Morgan County Fiscal Court, appoints Library District Board members, and whereas the 2022 Kentucky General Assembly amended KRS Chapter 173 to create a Library District Board member alternative appointment process that may be implemented by fiscal courts through the passage of a resolution. Now, therefore, it is resolved by the Fiscal Court of Morgan County and Commonwealth of Kentucky. 1. Morgan County Library District appointment shall be made in accordance with the alternative appointment process detailed with KRS 173. From this date of passage until the alternative appointment process is repealed via passage of a subsequent resolution. This is more or less the legislature gave this to the fiscal court, so the court would have a little bit more say in the library appointments and how those the process is going about that. Is there any questions or discussion you want to do on this right now?
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to approve the resolution regarding the fiscal court appointment of library district board members. Any other further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. See, Sheena, we got review of equipment purchase for ambulance service from opioid grant funds.
Yes, number 18 is about the opioid grant funds. We have received money on the opioid grant funds settlement. We have attached, we've got 2 attachments there. This money has come in, and first of all, if you all will go down to the second attachment, this is for you all to view. This is from CAECO. This is the acceptable uses of funds. This is what this money can be used for, and it's very specific on how that we can disperse that funding, and it can be used in all the different areas. And some of those, if you'll scroll on down through there, they're highlighted, and that's what we're going to talk about now with the ambulance service. Raven might actually come up and tell us about that.
She's going. Oh.
You did? Okay,
Yeah.
Awesome.
That we're wanting to purchase another one of, if y'all want to see it.
Okay,
Work.
Raven has submitted, if you'll look back at the first attachment, this is an invoice from Stryker to purchase a Lucas device, and she'll show you what that is.
This is actually what we use when we do CPR. It does compressions for us. Donnie's seen it used many times. It does adequate compressions, because anybody, 2 minutes of compressions in the back of a truck, you're going to get wore out. And this way, this does adequate, continuous till we get to the ER or helicopter. Cody Mike can put it right here so you can see. This will go like on our stretcher and the patient goes on it, and
You bring her out here.
Get
You
in.
might be able to see the top of it. There you go.
There we go. So yeah, this is the backboard piece for your patients to go into. It utilizes the plunger here to do our compressions. It frees our hands up, so that way we can actually do IVs, medicines, intubations. But secure your hands, We could be over here doing something else, bagging, getting medicines. Because we only run one person back to the truck at a time. So this is really beneficial for us to have.
We only have this one. We bought it, I think, in 2016. At that time, it was 14,000. So we keep it in the station, and so if we get a call that, cardiac arrest, then, obviously we grab it and take it. But sometimes what we get toned out to isn't what we show up to. So that way we wanted to purchase another one so we could put one on each of our frontline trucks, because we always run 2 trucks. And then that way it's always on there if we need it.
And nobody knows, we usually always, before we had this, we always had a firefighter go with us.
Yeah, because if
throw 'em in the
you're,
back, do compressions to the hospital, and there's parts of the county, we're 30 minutes from the hospital.
Right.
That's a long ways to go to have to do compressions, and at that point, you're gonna wear out. This thing don't. It just keeps going.
This is going to save lives. I wanted Raven to bring this and show it. Can hey Jonathan, can the cameras they see it? All right, good. I want everybody to see this. This is an excellent investment for the ambulance service up there. It's going to save lives, and it has, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it definitely does, yeah. Because, your compressions is your most important thing to keep that blood flowing through all your organs, your brain.
It keeps the right depths,
And with the purchase of a second one, you'll have one on 2 trucks and be able to.
So that way we don't have to worry about grabbing one, or
Yeah.
they can just stay on the trucks.
You'll arrive on the scene, because a lot of times you go out, you know what you're going to find when you get there.
And this piece of equipment also qualifies to be paid out of the opioid settlement grant
Right.
funds.
Yeah, because now they're up to what was it, 18,000?
18,000.
Yeah, the total invoice for this Lucas machine will be $18,014.47, which can come out of the opioid settlement.
But like I
funds line
said,
item.
we've had that one since 2016, and it still works fine.
I'll make a motion that we purchase that.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to purchase the Lucas chest compression system from Stryker Medical in the amount of $18,014.47 from opioid grant funds for the use by the Morgan County Ambulance District. Any further questions or discussion for Raven or anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Raven. Cody? Okay, next up, Morgan County Quick Response Team opioid settlement funds request. Sheena?
Okay, we also wanted to address the additional funds that the opioid settlement had. We have $8,378.03 left. I have talked with Amanda Nichols at the Recovery Center here in town, and she looked over the acceptable uses for the funding, and she has brought to our attention that they would like to purchase a van for transports, which also is one of the acceptable purchases to make with that funding. And she hasn't found one yet, but they are looking for one. She wanted to buy one previously. They just haven't been able to have the funding to get that. But her request was that we mark that money for her to purchase the van with it. Once they find one, she would submit the invoice to us, and then we would pay that balance of the remaining opioid funds. And that would be able to use that money for those 2 projects with ambulance service and with the Morgan County Quick Response Team to utilize that funding from the opioid settlement. She's just requesting that balance be used to purchase the van. She has not found it yet, but they are looking for one right now.
We'll hold the money till when they find the van, then we'll
that's what y'all
we'll
choose
release
to
it if it's approved by the court.
I'll make a
Yes.
motion, we keep the money set aside for that van, for the transportation.
All right. We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to use the remaining balance of $8,378.03 to purchase a van for transports for the quick reaction team. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving along, review of WEX and ELAN financial services billing statements.
Okay, this is something that
Elon.
was approved at our last meeting. There is two particular companies that we pay, and one of them you know are familiar with is the Elon Financial Services statement. That actually is our credit card statement. We use our credit card to do the purchasing from Amazon and Costco and one of the software companies that we use to do our online. We used to do online purchasing. Well, this has to be paid before our meetings. So the court approved for us to go ahead and pay those online, and that we would present this invoice in detail to you all and bring it for ratification, and just to show you as a detailed invoice that that has been paid. So we'll just need to ratify each one of those. The first one on the attachment is the Elon. We paid the balance in total of $1,278.36. If you want to go on down on that attachment, you can see that Vicki has went through and checked off all those, and that has been paid in full. We're just wanting to bring it to you all for ratification. Okay, we'll just do them both together.
Right. Yeah, motion to do them.
Okay,
both
the
together.
next attachment is our WEX bill. That is for our fleet cards. We have recently approved everyone to start on fuel cards with their departments. And if you all want to go on down through there, you can see it's a detailed list, and it shows what department, which employee. It asks for a lot of information, their odometer reading. It tells how many gallons of fuel they've used, the cost of the fuel, and it's a very detailed report. But we also had paid that online, and we wanted to submit that to the court also for ratification, and to let you all see that detailed report and that it has been paid.
So after your review, we'll entertain a motion to ratify prior period expenditures for WEX and Elon Financial Services.
I'll make a motion to ratify the WEX and Elon Financial Service billing statements.
Second it.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to ratify prior period expenditures for WEX and Elon Financial Services. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, order of affiliation for annual executive order. Okay, this is the affiliation agreement, I believe, right? Yeah. Mainly the purpose of this is, if you go to the attachment, the purpose of this order is to establish responsibilities and chain of command between Morgan County Government Emergency Management Director and the Morgan County Emergency Rescue Squad. We do this annually, so I believe, so maybe for Tommy, I used to see it when I was the deputy, seen this before. Is there any changes or anything to this, Raven? It's all still the same, right? So upon your review, I'll entertain a motion to approve this order.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual executive order of emergency management affiliation.
I'll second it.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve the annual executive order of emergency management affiliation. Any other further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Walter Smith Road. Eric?
Okay, there's no one in the crowd from that family tonight. Did he bring in any documentation to the judge's office? There's no one here from the road department. We'll probably have to table it because the documentation was supposed to have been in the judge's office, and it's not. What's going on with this road?
Just tell us what's going on. So
what's going on with this road is the road, they have documentation that the road passed when Kenny Cottle was magistrate back years ago. I don't know the exact date, but a long time ago, the road was passed. It was put in the county road system. But when you look at it now, you can look at the state road map, and it's showing a private drive. At the road department, it's showing that it's a private drive. But they have documentation saying that it is a county road. This is brought up every so often. I talked to Mr. Smith, which is Raymond. They have everything. I assume that someone would be here tonight or they would bring it, but they have not. So I make a motion that we table it till the next meeting.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to table the discussion of Water Smith Road till next meeting. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. You know, we've seen a lot of that, though. Roads has just been taken out, and there's no explanation. I mean, me and Linda, it's almost daily we're dealing with this, and I don't know what's going on, what happened.
I think this road,
We did a big fan job on that road.
yeah.
When Stanley was in office.
Yeah, this road it's a county road. For
Yeah.
some reason, it was skipped over. I don't know. I was hoping to have that documentation. That way we
Yeah.
could just go ahead and put it behind us.
Yeah,
But like Linda said, there was a big FEMA project when Stanley Franklin was judge. And
yeah, it had to be in there. Yeah, she
It's
was
in
telling me
there.
about it. We talked about it in the office. That had to be in there. There's no way FEMA would put money into that if it wasn't, so. But how and when it got took out, who knows? We're running across this daily. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the fiscal court is a court of record. It doesn't matter if 1,000 people were watching. If it's not in the record, it's not in the record. So if they have proof that it was voted on
Yeah.
and it was put in, then unless somebody shows that it was voted out properly,
Exactly.
then it's still in, no matter what we've told the state or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
And that's what we're finding. We're finding some of these roads are taken out, but there's no record of where it was taken out. It's not in the minutes, it's nowhere.
yeah.
So I don't know what that was about, but
I've had several over the years,
yeah,
same way.
it happens, I guess. I don't know.
You know, I hate it. The road needs worked on,
Yeah, all right.
but we'll get to it.
Understood. We'll get to it next month. Okay, moving along to vendor claims. You have attachments, you can go ahead and review those, take a look at them, give you some time to look at that if you haven't seen them already.
Judge, there may be some confusion because we have a number of attachments. And the reason there are so many is because we had the vendor claims ready and then the meeting was postponed.
Yeah.
So then we had to do, so really the ones that you're needing to, that's got the information are, start with about the third one from the bottom. You've got the additional vendor claims. Those are the ones that we added after
Okay.
the meeting should have been but wasn't. And then you've got the updated paid vendor claims, which you're going to need to ratify. And then at the very bottom, you've got the updated unpaid vendor claims. So those would be all the vendor claims that need to be paid.
We can do that in one motion. You guys go ahead and take some time to look at it. I know it's a lot of extra data. Yeah, I do apologize for last week, but I got head up the strep and had a fever Thursday night, and there's no way I could be here. I didn't want to spread it around to everybody else, especially our two wounded Tommy and Miles. That's the last thing they need.
Oh, yes. Also, the arrears bills are in that list also that show that they have been paid. The outstanding debt that we had.
I'll make a motion to pay the vendor claims.
Second.
Motion on the floor, properly second, to approve vendor claims. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We need
Motion to ratify the pay.
All right. So I entertain a motion to ratify, we paid. All right.
I'll make that motion.
All right.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor, properly second to ratify vendor claims paid. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Sheena, you got the update on the fiscal court website?
Yes, but just Tommy, you want to say some things about the web? Tommy's been working on our website, which actually looks great. He had shared the link with us. We haven't went live yet, but I think everyone will like the website.
Magistrates had a chance to see?
We are all, yeah, we sent links to the magistrates to look at, and I would encourage each of you, elected officials, and I have Brandon, he's number one, he got me his bio the other day, but to provide bio information, if you would like it to be on the website, a short bio would be much appreciated. We're pretty close to being finished with it, I think. Every time I look at it, I find something else needs to be touched up a little bit, but if we can get that bio information from you, we can try to get it wrapped up here pretty quick and get it live. That link is still good if you care to go out and look at it again. We have made some changes to it in the last 2 or 3 weeks since we sent that to you the first time. So any suggestions, ideas that you might have, very much appreciated.
I got one. How about under Miles's bio, we put that appearance on the Price is Right.
And of course, we lost Bob this week. He
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah, Bob's gone.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Yeah. All right, so any questions for Tommy on the website? And again, when we're going live,
I can go live about any time, but I'd like to get this bio information in hand if we can do that. If that's something you want to do, Sheriff, I'd need one on you too if you'd like.
yeah, I think all of you want to, don't I?
Yeah,
All right.
need one on everybody except Brandon.
Brandon's the only one on job.
He's on the ball.
Making us look bad, Brandon.
My bad.
We'll let you slide this time. Okay, purchasing from Webstront store with credit card. All right, Vicki?
Well, this, as you know, we're limited on what we could use the credit card, the companies that we can use it with. And so the snack bar at the Wellness Center intends to start serving pizza. And we ordered everything that she needed from Amazon except the pizza boxes. And that may sound like a small matter, but this Webstront store has pizza boxes about $40 cheaper per box of 100 than any place that we can buy them from. And I looked them up. They appear to be a reputable company, and they're a restaurant supply store is what they are. So we need your approval though before we can purchase the boxes from that company.
$40 cheaper, that's pretty good.
And we'll be paying for those with our credit card, so anything other than Amazon, Costco, and the software, we wanted to get your all's approval before we make that purchase.
I make a motion that we approve to purchase these boxes.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor to approve online purchases from Webstront store using the Elon Financial Credit Card. Any further questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, email notification for special meetings. Vicki, Linda, which one are you taking it?
This was brought to our attention by Kim when we were setting up this software, and you can grant us authority to contact you for special meetings via email. Otherwise, it has to be done, what was the other option?
Hand delivery.
Had to be done hand delivery. But you can authorize us to contact you via email for special meetings, and that's what this is about. I was not aware of this until we got into this project.
Yeah, me either. But I'll tell you what, if you guys want me to hand deliver it to you at dinner time, you know, I'll be, you gotta, especially if you have a meatloaf or something, I'll come over and bring it to you, Brandon.
I don't cook, so you.
Oh, man.
We'll both be
Tommy?
hungry.
Lisa? So I'll entertain a motion to approve the email notification for special meetings.
And I would also like to add about the special meetings, Vicki had sent out the notification by email through e-meetings to all of the court and everyone else who's involved with the meetings, sent it through e-meeting. We will also from now on be sending a Word document of the agenda that's printable, that'll show it. We'll also include that as an attachment, so that way you don't have to go on to e-meeting and actually get the agenda. She'll include that with the email as well. Those will be included, and we'll make sure that we get those out to you all. Linda and Vicki will be taking care of that. But I just wanted to let y'all know that we'll send those out with the notifications for all future meetings. Just a little piece of information about the meeting.
You need a motion for
Yeah.
that? Oh, well,
It'll have to be in the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the email notification for special meetings.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, properly second, to approve email notifications for special meetings. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? I guess nobody wants me to come to their house to bring up the motion. All right. Well. Okay, next up is closed session for litigation and personnel. Discussion.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor, properly second, to go to closed session for litigation and personnel discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. a motion to come out of closed session.
Make a motion, come out of closed session.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to come out of closed session. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second. We have a motion on the floor, properly second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, folks. Appreciate you coming out. Keep